Hello, my name is Maatougui,
And I'm Tyler Friedman.
and today we're going to talk about Lockheed Martin, which is our favorite company. I actually intern there right now. There are a couple quick facts about the company. It's the largest defense contractor in the world. Approximately 98,000 people, employees work there in the U.S. and internationally, and there's 590 facilities all over the world. And the reason why it's in Central Florida, as well as other states and other countries, is because of the infrastructure, because of universities like UCF, FIT, and UF, which have really good engineering and business schools, which can hire people like me and Tyler. So a couple of financial performance factors like 2015 states were 46.1 business billion dollars, and it was ranked 64th in the Fortune 500. That's pretty impressive for a company like that. I was fortunate enough to interview my manager, business operation manager Amber Ferro, and she gave us a couple of insights about why this company is so good.
All right, so jumping into the topic of choice of business entity, Lockheed Martin operates under a publicly held corporation. The reason for this is they have five different sectors. They would be aeronautics, information systems, and global systems, missiles and fire control, RMS, and space systems. The ones that are actually held here in Central Florida are missiles and fire control and RMS. Um, there are plenty of reasons why a company would operate under a corporation, and the advantages come along with being a separate entity, which separates tax liabilities. Incorporating protects your personal assets from lawsuits, debt collection, and other business issues that can arise. If anyone wanted to sue you or anything, it's like you can't just sue someone personally. It's a corporation. They have to go through certain aspects of that. And yeah, so being a standalone entity also makes you not personally liable for the assets and debts of the business.
All right, so talking about contracts, like that's a huge part of the business that Lockheed Martin does and the primary customer is the U.S. government. 80% of the contracts is with the U.S. government. It's also starts to expand internationally with countries like Poland, UK, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and others. The most important contract is the F-35 Lightning II, which is the most expensive military weapon system in history, which is almost $1.5 trillion, which is compared to national debt, which is almost $19 trillion. That's a huge deal because it's just one contract. The period of performance, however, goes from 2001 when they won the contract to 2070, which includes design, production, and maintenance of the planes. Also, some of the things that intellectual property, the blueprints that they classify blueprints that if they get in the wrong hands, they can damage national security of the United States and others of the other allies. I think that's a pretty big deal. The motto of the Lockheed Martin, "We're engineering better tomorrow," is kind of describes that they're trying to innovate. They don't just stand in the same place. They always try to improve themselves and better themselves. Efficient supply chain is another asset that Lockheed Martin has, and the people themselves, because they're able to assemble it and put it together and make sense of it. So, and they're go back to agents.
Lockheed Martin's most important agents would be their employees. I mean, they run the business with over 98,000 of them, 500 plus locations. They are the most essential persons to the company. Going back to the 20-factor test that we had learned about, they hit every single bullet point on there. I mean, that is spot on. So I would have to say those are their agents. And going into litigation, I would say that the most recent, which was almost a year ago, of their cases was a lawsuit that was filed against Lockheed Martin, where 108,000 employees had claimed that the defense contractor, being Lockheed Martin, had mismanaged their retirement plans. Lockheed had actually agreed to pay $62 million to settle the lawsuit. It was filed with the federal court in East Illinois, and the plaintiff's lawyers had actually said this was one of the largest cases in this topic that they had ever seen. Trial was scheduled but was averted, so both sides could resolve the case through mediation, which was beneficial to both of them, saving time, money, everything in that aspect.
Speaking about ethics, I think that's very important in the workplace, especially in a corporation like that, where you can get lost in the numbers when you have so many employees. We have such a huge company with so many facilities. think it's important when you can stand out, you have your voice heard. So speaking of that, Amber was able to share a couple things that from her standpoint as a manager. And she described it from his commitment to ethics and ethics culture. I just want to read this from the page, which is really kind of impressed me. Is that Lockheed Martin's business success depends on our commitment to integrity. We do more than just comply with laws and regulations. We aim to do what is right every day. I think that's really like a solid point. I actually experienced it firsthand that it's that's just how they run the business. Every single employee and every single person there is committed to that. And a couple of things that Amy was able to share is that there's open door policy, no discrimination, no fear of retaliation. All the training modules for employees and contractors is very important. Events like diversity and inclusion events. And also the ethics officer, Mary Walsh, that's the person you would reach out to. And she would help you out with everything. She would start an investigation if it needed to. And she's the person to talk to in my location.
To wrap everything up, pros and cons come with every huge corporation, every company, what it may be. Me and Rob, this definitely sparks interest in both of us. The type of things that they do within the company, everything they aim for, this is our goal. So definitely weighs out any cons. I mean, every company has litigations, lawsuits, or whatnot, but it matters about how you overcome them and how everybody perceives your company. And Lockheed Martin seems like a pretty solid company.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.